but that's okay. So I do see some new names. Um, so why don't we go ahead and do just introductions, and Lauren, I'll have you go last if that's okay. Um, so my name is Katie Amy, and I work for the Kansas City Healthy Lifestyles Collaborative. It's a program at Children's Mercy, and I support some of our different initiatives, one being the Kansas City Physical Activity Plan. And we have 10 sectors as part of the KCPA plan, and one of those being schools. So I help to support our school sector. On that note, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Kelly and have you introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, my name is Kelly Clay. I am also with the Kansas City Healthy Lifestyles Collaborative at Children's Mercy. Um, I am pretty new, so I will be supporting other sectors in the physical activity plan as well. Just not sure which ones that will be. So I'm sitting in on all the different sectors and seeing kind of where we're at with all of them. So nice to meet you all. I
Brian?
keep forgetting to
Yeah,
pass it
that's
on.
okay. Brian, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Um, I'm Brian Mays. I'm also with Children's Mercy over at, I am the coordinator of school-based health initiatives. Programs like this, I help promote to the schools. So it's just always helpful to sit in and learn more. I'm not sure who hasn't gone yet.
I'll go.
Okay.
I'm Jay McMahon. I am the new FNEP SNAP Ed extension agent for Wyandotte County. So we teach low-income nutrition is what we do. And if anyone knows anyone, we are hiring 2 people with high school degrees to go out and teach nutrition to the agency. So I've been trying to do email blasts lately so I can rebuild the program.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. If you have a link to those positions, if you want to drop it in the chat or email me, I'll put my email in. I can share it with some of our other group members.
That would be, let's see. Yeah, that would be great. I have the long state of Kansas description, and then I have a mini one, so it'd be easiest to email it to you. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, I just dropped my email in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay. Lee, I know you just joined us. Thanks for coming. We're just doing quick introductions. Do you want to go ahead? You're our last person, so do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Lee Kurtek, and I'm the program director with Girls on the Run. And we're a youth development program that works with girls in 3rd through 8th grade.
Awesome. I want to ask you, but I'll probably email. I want to know how the 5K went.
The 5K was great. The prediction was stormy weather with lightning and thunderstorms and all of that, and it all held off. And it happened. We had over almost 4,000 people cross the finish line. So it was cool. Yeah.
Awesome. That's so good to hear.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. So on that note, Lauren, thank you for coming and stepping in. We're so excited to have you with us today. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? And then if you have a presentation, I can give you access and we can just jump in.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I will have a quick little presentation for us to kind of run through. But yeah, my name is Lauren. I am the youth programs coordinator for Special Olympics Kansas. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. And Lee, I was at the Girls on the Run 5K tabling and had a blast. It was really fun. I was so excited to be there. And I'm looking forward to hopefully doing it again. But yeah, so kind of what I'll be talking about today is with Special Olympics Kansas, we do a lot of different things, but what we're going to focus on today, and what I'm going to present to you guys is a topic on our unified PE, which is part of our Unified Champion Schools programming that is in our schools. So yeah, I would love to kind of just share my screen and run through, just some slides with y'all and introduce you a little bit to what our Unified PE is all about. Okay. Okay, let me know. You guys, hopefully you should be able to see this. We
Yes.
good? Awesome. Perfect. Well, yeah, if y'all have any questions, feel free to stop me during or ask after, whatever works easiest for you guys. All right. So really kind of like I said, what I'm talking about is our unified PE programming today. And that is in all of our schools. So that's either pre-K all the way up through colleges is where our unified sports is and our, unified champion schools. And just a little bit of background on our Unified Champion Schools. So our Special Olympics, Unified Champion Schools, we call it UCS for short. Let me make sure I can minimize all of us, put us in the corner. Sorry about that. So you can see everything. So yeah, we are, our strategy programming in schools, like I said, pre-K through college, and the focus is to intentionally promote inclusion. And really obviously at the core of that and at the core of Special Olympics, mission overall, it's all about unifying all of our students, and that's both with and without disabilities. And through Special Olympics and through our Unified Champion Schools, the focus is to use sports as that catalyst for that social inclusion, as well as that attitude and behavioral change. And the way we divide it up in our Unified Champion Schools is implementing it into 3 different components. So that's our unified sports, our inclusive youth leadership, and our whole school engagement. And what our unified PE is part of is our unified sports. That's what we'll focus on today. But just wanted to give you the rundown of kind of the other areas as well. So, a little bit about unified PE, kind of what is it? So our unified PE or unified physical education just provides that opportunity for our students in our schools, both with and without intellectual disabilities, to, come together through that ongoing educational and physical activities. So obviously, it's all about the physical education. It's a course in a school, and it's structured around the national physical education standards and, grade level outcomes, as well as any state related ones. And that just includes, all the knowledge, gained for students and skills necessary to just, like any other PE course, to maintain, that healthy level of fitness and lifestyles. But, in our unified PE course, we don't just focus on, just, the fitness side and the health side. We really work to focus on the development of those leadership skills for all of our students, and also just the empowerment, of all of our students, because at the end of the day, the goal is to foster that inclusive class, and, for that then to go into an entire school and foster a school-wide effort for inclusion. So like I said, kind of a little bit about how it works. So it is a separate course that we, want to offer in schools, and, we have a bunch of different resources that we provide schools with, and, really concepts kind of from those resources can either be incorporated, into an existing course. So it doesn't have to be, an entirely new course at a school. But it can also be a new course as well. We really like to leave it up to the schools, to decide what works best for them. And we're there to, support and help them with that. Because, we want it, we want it to be something that's successful and inclusive for them. And so we really just work on, whether they want to create it into an existing one or create a completely new component in course as well. And, we want the course to typically be taught by a certified physical education teacher at the school. And just like any other courses, that are offered at schools, we want it to be offered just like that. We want it to be, not something that's completely separate. We don't want it to be, its own thing. There's all these other courses that students can take. And then there's this one, like this kind of bonus extra. We just want it to be kind of with the flow and with every other course that can be included in with their registration. And, all students who participate in our class should also receive the same type of academic credit. So that's, both students with and without disabilities. And the credit, like I said, should just kind of be like any other class at the school as well. So obviously, as far as our students go in our unified PE courses, we want it to be that fully inclusive program. Obviously, in a perfect world, we would love half the students in the course to be students with a disability and the other half without disability. That's usually never the case, but that's what we strive for. We want to be as equal as possible for students both with and without disabilities in the class. And kind of the important thing we like to stress too is that we never want this unified PE class to be compromised solely of individuals with disabilities. It is not an adapted PE class. It's not a regular PE class. It's a fully inclusive PE class. And so we just really want to stress the importance of that with our schools. And on top of that, it's we want to make sure that every student who's entered in this class starts out on the same foot. So we want all students involved, to have that physical education credit and receive that credit for this class. We don't want it to be the students without disabilities, serving as those helpers or mentors. There's so many incredible classes, in schools that do serve in that role, but we don't want this class to be that. We just want it to be a class that, is fully inclusive and that everybody's on the same level. This is just a link there. I could talk about our Unified PE resources for days, but I just wanted to share kind of the link with you all if you were interested. I'll have it at the end too, just for you to check out. But yeah, it just has kind of our different PE resource guides that we give to our schools, just a bunch of ideas, resources, videos, structures. There's a whole slew of things out there. Just wanted to share that with you, but I'll share it at the end as well. And kind of the way, like I said, we want it to be we want it to be about fitness, obviously, and, typical physical education topics, but also those leadership topics, and focus on wellness topics. And, these are the different ideas through the resources that we have for schools. They are obviously very welcome to come up with their own as well. Yeah, but we want to make sure that they're, focusing on different areas, and instead of just focusing on, the physical education component and, those different activities that are involved with that, that you would see in a typical PE course. So like I said, we really like to focus on the leadership component as well. And this is kind of just a sample. Just wanted to give you all kind of a rundown of what it might look like, for a class. Like I said, we provide a structure. We don't provide necessarily a curriculum, like it's not a curriculum, but it's just additional resources and, things for these PE teachers to use, just to give them a better flow and to make sure, they have things available and can use resources. So like, this is just a sample of what one, could look like. And this is obviously for more of those, PE related activities and fitness activities. And then we have like our leadership sample as well. And yeah, really just, this is kind of just how our resources are. It gives, kind of what the time might look like. It might give an activity, a video to watch, something like that, something you could do in the classroom as well. And then reflection questions that can be asked as well. And then again, here's another kind of just example of one of our wellness samples. Same thing, kind of just gives an idea of something that can be done, kind of the breakdown of what it is. And yeah, really just trying to give our, teachers that are leading these, as much resources as possible. So they aren't having to come up with all the different things. And then, like I said, we have our unified PE, in all of our school levels. But our young athletes one is for, our kiddos ages 2 to 7. So that's mostly in our preschools and our elementary schools. And with our young athletes program, we also have a year-long curriculum that's in development, and it's really exciting because we had multiple schools in Kansas that Special Olympics or North America decided to help, decide to use us in our schools to pilot these year-long curriculum pilots. And actually they, the reason Caitlin, my supervisor, could not be on the call is because she is at New Stanley Elementary in the Kansas City, Kansas public schools, because our national team from Special Olympics North America was coming to film them. So yeah, that was just something that was super exciting, and we're so excited to see that because they participated in this year-long curriculum, which is separate from our Unified PE, but this was a year-long curriculum just for our younger kids. But I just wanted to kind of share that with y'all because it's just a really, really exciting and really cool opportunity that, you know, some of our students and teachers were able to get. No, I don't know if it's letting me go to my next slide. That might be the end of my slides. I think I had one more slide at the end, but it's okay if it doesn't pull up. But yeah, really just wanted to give y'all kind of just a rundown. I know that's probably a lot of information at once about our Unified PE, but like I said, it's, you know, we have so many resources and so many tools out there, and, you know, our goal is to, you know, help students, help teachers in any way we can, you know, to strive and be successful and, you know, build that confidence, you know, build that leadership, also, you know, learn fitness, do all these things. And yeah, the goal is really to just do what we can on our end so that, you know, they can be successful and they can have all the resources and they're not, you know, feeling overwhelmed. We just want it to be something really fun for them. And obviously at the end of the day, the heart of it all is in the inclusion aspect. But yeah, that is kind of just a little bit a breakdown of our Unified PE. I could probably go on for hours about it, but I know I only had a certain amount of time and would not want to bore y'all with more and more. So I will stop sharing my screen with that. And yeah, I mean, yeah, if y'all have any questions, like feel free to ask. I have a bunch of different resources I could also send you over. Whatever is easiest for everybody. Anybody have any questions about anything?
I would just say, Lauren, we have a team at New Stanley as well, and it's one of our very successful teams. I mean, maybe offline at some point we could chat about what that looks like to have those kiddos work together. We also are really trying to ensure that our program is inclusive as well. So I would love to see what that looks like at New Stanley. We can talk offline about that though.
Yes, yeah, definitely. We're always looking, to partner with any other groups that are in schools and, you know, especially at our elementary level, you know, that's where we feel like, you know, inclusion, you know, we can really start there. And, you know, if we start there, then the goal is obviously to then keep that inclusion, you know, going, you know, as students progress throughout the other schools. Awesome. Well, yeah, if y'all don't have any other questions, I, you know, can include my email as well as, you know, anyone else on my team. But, you know, I appreciate y'all just, you know, letting me into this meeting and, you know, letting me present a little bit and talk about our Unified PE. Yeah, it's super exciting and, you know, we're just here to help. And so, yeah, let me reach out if y'all have any questions about anything, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming. It's great.
Thank you. Well, I will drop my email in the chat and then I will leave y'all to the rest of your meeting. So thank you so much.
Thanks. Hi, Christine.
I didn't want to interrupt, but thank you, Lauren, for coming. Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we can just resume with our agenda. It was actually really short for today. Thanks, Lauren. We don't have much to discuss. Christine, I don't know if we want to take the time now to just talk about possible implementation application ideas, kind of what we discussed on Monday. After this presentation, how would the group feel about maybe focusing on like a project around policy work and maybe policy work around Unified PE and what that would look like? I don't know if we want to have that discussion today. This meeting is a little unbalanced, so I understand. What are your thoughts, Christine?
I'm fine. We can, if somebody has something they want to share about policy work. I was looking a little bit at the MOCAN site and just the policies that align with physical activity. And so this work is new to me. So I'm not sure what, other than identifying a topic, I'm not really sure what the next steps are. I know that on the Kansas side, I was going to reach out. It sounds like they have reinstated a governor's council on wellness and health. So I don't know if that's the similar thing to MOCAN,
Okay.
but it's something I can look into because I recognize some of the names on that group. One used to support physical education and health for the state of Kansas for KSCE. So I don't know if they would have information on, existing policies or input for what we want to do.
Yeah. I probably jumped the gun and dove in a little too soon, but for those that are new, we have funding available through the KCPA plan for implementation applications that align with our plans, sectors, and there's the strategies of our sector groups. So each group has $15,000. The school sector, I know we have funding left. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know it's around $5,000 left. So we do still have money, but not all applications. This doesn't even have to be an application. We're just trying to move the work of the school sector group forward. So we thought about coming up with maybe like a subgroup focus, which would be around like maybe policy, to try and just achieve our strategies. Just a brief overview of what we're talking about. So Christine and I met and discussed like maybe what that would look like is focusing on a smaller, more achievable thing, like a policy recommendation around physical activity. So I don't know how the group feels about that, if they think it's a good idea, any ideas of where we should start.
Yeah, because we talked briefly too about the swimming, like a policy on, just a policy recommendation around swimming. So I'm up for whatever the group, if people have other areas to explore, because policy is one of the 3 strategies that the school sector.
Yeah. I did talk with Joey, because we just had our public health meeting. So I spoke with Joey Leitner, and he has a lot of experience in this work. I shared that APHA policy statement with you about out of school time, physical activity. And he thinks it's a great idea. He'd be more than happy to like provide some guidance and help out. And he thinks the public health group should help our other sector groups with work like this, especially when it comes to not just policy work, but also surveillance. And so he had some great ideas, but it was more related to the infrastructure group. So maybe we could just set up a small meeting with him and brainstorm.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I was thinking, gosh, I would love to hear him speak on if he's been involved with writing policy, because I'm interested, but I don't really know, like, what is the process?
Yeah, he recommended starting with like best practices and putting together like a 1-pager on best practices and going from there. So like I had an example from sports, but like, yeah, or what are the best practices in schools for increasing physical activity? Just like a brief example like that. Or out of school time, like Lee, your group, Girls on the Run, like providing those opportunities. What are the best practices? So just an idea, something for us to think about.
I wonder
kind
if
of-
there's, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I wonder if there's already, like, I guess I need to look up, I don't know if it would be on KSCE's website, existing policies around physical activity, because CSPAP, that is what CSPAP is, the Comprehensive School Physical Activity Plan, increasing activity before school, during school, after school. And maybe I know that our physical education association, CAPERD, is very active on Let's Move Kansas, like Let's Move, or let's just say it's called, they keep changing the name, active, like Let's Get Active Kansas Schools. And they had these trainings years ago for the CSPAP model. And it came from, I thought, KSDE. So I could just make a note to reconnect with the person at the state. Mark Thompson left KSDE, but it looks like he's with Blue Cross Blue Shield now, but he might be on the Governor's Council for Health and Wellness.
I just got an email from my my state specialist. Whoops, sorry about that. Did I lose you there? Anyway, can you see this?
No, it's your background. It's blending in with your background.
Background. Anyway, what this is Guide to Implementing Play Streets in Rural Communities. And now the state specialists are wanting to work on urban areas. So I have not even gotten this read, but I know there's some help from K-State if this would fit into something that you guys know of.
Did you say it came from KSDE or the specialist?
It's Kansas Research and Extension.
I'll look into that group.
And there's a state specialist. This was written by someone at, let me find it. Let's see. I love this age. Bloomberg School of Public Health and Baylor University's Public Health. And there is a professor up at K-State that's working on it.
Okay. Do you know if that's available online?
That I do not know. They emailed it to us.
Okay. I might, when I email you for those job positions, I might ask for if you wouldn't mind sharing it with me.
No,
Okay.
because yeah, it's like I need to read this, and like I said, I just they caught me while I was up at K-State on a training, so I didn't have time to really study and learn it yet.
That's okay. I appreciate you still sharing that. Okay. Well, Christine, maybe what our next step should be is we get together and kind of like think this through a little bit more and then bring it up
Yeah.
to the group, come up with a solid plan. I know we just met on Monday and I haven't had the time to like look into it or
Oh,
do any
yeah.
research around what
Yeah,
we
me
need to
neither.
do to get started. Yeah,
But
so
I like the idea of a best practices, even if it's around unified PE,
yeah.
because
And
it's
if it was
still,
swimming,
Mhm.
sorry, I didn't
No.
mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
no.
Okay. Yeah, so it could be unified PE. We could also, I know we discussed swimming, so the best practices around swimming in schools and water safety. So I guess we should pick a focus first and then go from there. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Well, if we want to move on, our next item is group updates. Did anybody have anything they wanted to share? Anything your organization's doing that relates to schools and health and wellness, physical activity?
I was going to ask Lee to share how the big event went.
Yeah, it was great. I gave a smidgen of an overview at the beginning. The bad weather held off. We were so lucky, but we were afraid we were going to have to cancel. And when you work all semester long with these girls to have this very special day and to have it that would have been devastating to have it canceled. So, and it's just a time when we hear just so many beautiful stories from people about amazing experiences that they had and special things that girls did. Just was really cool. So now we're already geared up for working on getting schools recruited for fall. And we honor that all of you teachers will turn off your laptops for the summer and not look at emails. So we're really working hard through the end of the school year to get teams signed up for the fall season. I should send it to you, Christine, and actually have you maybe share that with your PE teachers, since I've chatted with so many of them. Could I do that? Would you share
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
info?
Yep. And I have a question. When you said that, it reminded me of our event that we finished that was running, and
Mhm.
the big push from our superintendent to, and maybe the chief of police, to find a new venue because there's no alternate if it were to be canceled, other than clusters of schools planning their own separate things. So in the event that your run is canceled, is that the end of it? Like,
It is.
if it's canceled, it's canceled. Because
Yes.
I strongly feel like the route we're using is still the best route, and I don't have a backup plan for that day, but I'm still advocating for the route because of the schools we run by and the finish and just all the different safety pieces versus they've mentioned going out to home field. And anyway, when you said that, I know that canceling is a huge disappointment to families and students and the planning side, but
Yeah, and we've been at Swope Park for the past few years, and they're going to be doing some construction next fall, creating a parking lot. So we cannot be there in the fall. So we are looking for a new place to host our 5K that is really lots of challenges. We need to host, we would host about 4,000 people, and to have a course that accommodates that and to have space for parking is tough. So we too we're looking for a new spot.
I feel like maybe this was a long time ago, but was it at Arrowhead?
And we're in conversations with Kaufman if
Okay.
they would partner with us to do it there. So that is one that's on our list.
Well, I can go. Kansas Kids Fitness Day. I love that Governor Kelly declared May 5th to be Kansas Kids Fitness Day. And that event has been happening, I think it was started years ago in the late 90s, early 2000s. And we had an event on May 7th and May 9th for third graders. And it was beautiful weather, and just it's so fun when an event is a success, and the purpose of the kids being active and doing fitness and social, emotional, and teamwork and competition, all the things in 20 stations. And so it was just a fun event.
I can go ahead and go. So it's not related to me, but unfortunately Nolan couldn't be here. But he gave me an update. So Nolan's with Bike Walk KC, and he actually needed to do a pedestrian safety training today. So, but he did give me some updates to share. So they have started their pedestrian safety program. They just started piloting it at Rushton Elementary in Johnson County and at Francis Willard in KCK. So this program will be implemented into all schools that are participating in BLAST programming right now, and that'll start in the fall. So overall, I guess the students are really enjoying it. They're taking the kids out on short walks in front of their schools, and the kids are identifying key pedestrian infrastructure, and the older students are discussing how pedestrian infrastructure can be improved to increase safety. So that's really cool. And then they also had their bike to school day, which was May 8th, right? Yeah, okay. I feel like I should know this. I've been creating so many flyers for it. But apparently it was a big hit with Bike Walk KC. So they were at the Crossroads Academy in downtown and at Neiman Elementary in Johnson County. They gave out stickers and safety information, and they also donated blinky lights to KCKPS. And those were, yeah, distributed at participating schools. So that's my update from Nolan. I know that Jill, so she said, obviously Bike Walk participated with Johnson County, but she said Bike Walk was great as well. And she did give me some photos, which I can probably just share in the newsletter. So overall attendance looked awesome. They had the fire trucks were out there, and they had I'm probably not going to use the right term, but the patrol dogs. So you know, cops, they're drug sniffing dogs. Yeah, they were out there, and there's photos of the kids petting them, and I'm like, it's very, very cute. So it looks like it was an overall great day. So yeah, I can also dive into our information. So Kinsey Healthy Lifestyles Collaborative has a quarterly meeting coming up. That is June 6th. Our guest speaker is Heather Leidy. So she's an associate professor at the University of Texas in Austin. I'm not going to share her full bio, but her research focus examines the effects of consuming a high protein breakfast on satiety. I don't know if I said that right. Glycemic control and weight management in adolescence. So the title of the presentation is actually From Risk to Resilience, Harnessing Protein for Youth Wellness. So it'll be more of a nutrition-based presentation this upcoming quarterly meeting. And I will drop the registration link in the chat for anyone who's interested in joining us. We do have an in-person option as well as a virtual. And for those who have not attended in the past, we do serve breakfast. I'm not sure what our option is going to be yet, though. So, okay. Well, those are all my updates. And if we don't have anything else to share, then I'll just leave it with our next meeting. So it is June 13th at 1 o'clock. And I'll also post the Eventbrite notification in the chat as well. Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, thanks everyone for joining us today. See you next month.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.